All right, you failed the PMP. That is how it goes. We are here now. We have a decision to make. We can either go forth and take it again and look at it positively and bounce back, or you can give up. You can wallow in your own despair. You can blame PMP. You can blame the coaches. You can blame whoever it is, and you can go off and live your life, and you'll be perfectly fine, pretty much, but you won't have a PMP. So right now we got to make a choice, whether we're going left and we're taking the positive path up. Sure, it's going to be hard, but we're going to come at it differently, and I'll tell you about it. Or you can take the ride off. I think you're here because you want to keep going forward, right? Well, I want to help you out. It's a new year. Same old me, same old shirt, same old coffee cup on the desk all day long. What we want to do is bounce back and realize that, yeah, you failed it. Let's deal with this. You failed the PMP. Okay, get it out. Now, we're coming back with a vengeance, but we're not going to do it the same way you did it last time. Let's realize, let's debrief, let's do a retrospective, if you will, in the Agile sense. Let's do a root cause analysis on the lean sense. Let's figure out what the heck the problem was. Now, I imagine when you went into the exam, you had high hopes. You had your confidence puffed out. You were ready to rock and roll. And there was a little bit of pressure because you're taking it toward the end of the year. I get it. But in reality, you went in there and you got humbled. Maybe you had a little tech issue that threw you off. Maybe you went in there and you're like, these questions don't look anything like the questions that I was studying. I've been looking for ITOs and I've been looking for knowledge stuff and I've been getting like 78, 85, 90 maybe. I've been getting these things and I took them a bunch of times. So I know what I'm looking for. And these questions, they're like foreign. These are like situational, interpretational. I see the answers. I don't like any of them, Scott. Is that the experience that you had? Because a lot of you did. And at the end, probably a lot of you were riding high. You hit that last button and plop. We're sorry. Sorry to tell you that you did not pass. So the thing that is unfortunate for you, that you feel like is terrible, is, oh God, the exam changed. What am I going to do now? Back to ground zero, right? I can handle that for you. So the first thing we got to do is realize that if we keep taking the same actions and studying the same way, odds are you're going to get the same result. You're going to have the same process of studying, or you're going to study for months or weeks. You're going to bang your head against the wall. You're going to hate it the entire time, and you're going to end up 50-50, just like those questions, 50-50, you pass or you fail. Now, I don't want you to do that, and I know for sure that you don't want to do that, because let me tell you one thing. It is not a bad thing to fail, all right? It just makes the story better, right? Nobody likes silver spoon in the mouth, woke up on Monday, was rich on Friday, all these things falling in your direction. Nobody likes that. I don't like it. You don't like it. Ain't not a story in the world that's ever been told like that. What we do like is someone that went into something, had a little downside, boom, and then had a conversation with themselves, found a mentor, found a way. Change the process. Cue the monologue or cue the montage right now. Then they get in there in the gym working it the right way. They see what was missing, what was wrong with their past in the past, their process in the past. The way I talk is wrong. The way their process was wrong, and they bounce back in the positive way, right? And they fight it up like Rocky or like all these other movies. They come back. Every movie follows the same story, y'all. Hero goes up, falls down. It's okay. Let's brush ourselves off and let's roll back with a vengeance, with a new refined focus and a new process and a new mentor and a new timeline. And then we roll back and we're triumphant at the end. But we have that perspective that I know what it feels like to fall down. I know what it feels like to fall down. And I know you do. And let's not do it again. So what didn't work? Memorization. Like putting ourselves in a hole and beating our head against the wall. Doing it alone, taking a bajillion questions, all those things. Those don't work. Boot camps, where information just flows one way and we're trying to encapsulate it in our head. What will work is what we need to do is think about it like boxing or mixed martial arts. I'm not a fighter guy. I'm not anything like that, but I was on one of those YouTube journeys and I found this thing where they were talking about what's the best martial art. And one person was saying like, well, if they got this person in these conditions and a karate guy came in, he would take out this other guy. And I don't know anything about any of the fighting things, but like what one of the people that, they thought about like the early mixed martial arts like contests where a karate guy would fight a judo guy, would fight a wrestler guy, would fight a Muay Thai guy, would fight all these different things. And what happened is like, yeah, the individual things like beat each other and that was fun. But in the end, like a better like mixed martial artist came out of it where jujitsu was their like underlying thing where they could react and they could work through and they could have ability to strike and kick and do all these things. And they took the best things from all of them in a system that worked together. And you know how they tested it? They got punched in the face. They didn't go into a room and say, this ought to work in some pristine environment where everybody's pulling their punches and stuff. No, they went out there and they refined their methods by getting punched in the face. All right? Now, I'm not saying go out and get punched in the face, but metaphorically, you just got punched in the head. All right? So what we need to do is go out there and use a method that has been tested with the battle that we're walking into. Now let's think about what we're walking into. What's the ring or the octagon, if you will, that we're walking into? We ain't walking into a regurgitation contest. This ain't a beauty contest. This ain't something like spelling bee. What this is a situational question barrage. And honestly, if you change the way you look at it, it is glorious what it is. Because it allows you as a project manager with your skills and your experience and your know-how and your discipline to excel. Because that's what makes you good. Your ability to see a problem and navigate it when no one else can. And guide your team when everybody else is freaking out. That's what makes you a good project manager, right? Same thing on the test. You just got to stop fighting Washington. You got to go into it saying, I'm going to study situational questions from the beginning. And only. And look at situational questions. Look at, how you think about scenarios, how you think about responding to issues, how you identify the right issue and what the prompt and best and most proactive response is. If we can change our philosophy of study and our practice of study on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis and put it only in that camp, think about what it will do. It will walk us into an actual environment when we get into the exam of something that we've actually been preparing for. Okay? And that's what we want. All right? And so when you study differently with the end in mind, which we know we're walking into, you have how beautiful is it that you've seen inside the test, inside the beast? That's beautiful. So now you know what you're going to face. So don't study the same way. Study with situation in mind. Okay, so that's why, our methods, I'm inspired by that MMA story, the mixed martial arts story. I don't want to create straw study or students that can't react to problems, that have to rely on a data dump, that have to rely on memorizing stuff, that have to rely on getting the easiest test or not having situational questions. I don't want that. I'm building warriors. Okay? Warriors that can go in there, and you don't have to be alpha, whatever. I'm saying a warrior mindset that I can take on anything. It could be a male or a female. It doesn't matter. You just have a strength, a confidence, and a humbleness that I'm going to react. I'm going to understand and react. Now, in the new PMBOK servant lead or the new PMP exam, servant leadership is like the heart that drives everything, I think, as a guy that's been studying it. You have to approach studying like a servant leader as well. What can you do to set the scenario to allow yourself to be successful? How can you humble yourself and pursue it in a valiant way? Okay? So what I would say is that a little bit of the way I'm talking to you now is to get you off the negative side. I need you to be positive. Whether you work with me or you don't, I need you to look at things differently. Okay? You need it. And so that's the first thing. Then the second thing is give up on the old way of studying, the traditional, the ways that don't work, the ways that stretch your time out and kill your brain and walk you out to, walking off the plank in a sense and being, at the mercy of the exam. Change it up and let's start thinking about the situational nature of questions the entire time. Let's look at the content from a situational nature. That's why I wrote the case study when I taught myself to study, because I had to throw myself into it. Yesterday's podcast, one of the things was, how do we simplify and how do we make it ours? The content ours. So if you work with me and come in, I'll just tell you how we do it. First thing we do is we simplify the heck out of it. We give you the arms around it so you can see the force, see what you're playing with, see all the players. You can see that. And it doesn't take a long time because we need to use our time judiciously. And we just need to figure out what the key pawns and movement players and all these different things. I don't know chess, obviously. Then once we do that, we go, let's start putting these pieces into play. And let's start seeing how they react and how you react to different situations. That's why we go through tons of questions live, and that's where the crux of our teaching comes. No one else in the world does this, PMP wise. It is truly innovative. It is no one does it because we've been sharpening our saw or sword, saw, whatever you call it, to be able to do this really well. And what we do is we bring you in, we have a method, we facilitate, not just like, hey, you got to be whatever, is we want to talk through how you got there, how you react, how you make it make sense, how can you explain it. That's how you get really good really quickly. And speed is not our thing. It doesn't have to be. If you want to, sure, let's do it fast. But competency, understanding, and success is what we're going toward. All right? So, making it simple, giving you the pathway forward, and actually working through hard questions with you and getting it so that you can do it on your own. I have so many students that I've turned into teachers. Like as soon as they pass the exam, you know why? And they're not super duper, they're not professors yet, but they're on their way. It's because we change the way they think and we empower them to be the leaders of their own thinking and their own questioning. So by doing that over and over and over for hours and hours and hours and weeks, then they get really good at that mental model of how to think through things. As we bounce back, that's what PMI is trying to do. How to approach problem solving, how to approach projects, how to approach leadership. Not a cookie cutter, I memorize all these things. No. What's going to happen when you go out there and you get popped in the nose? How can you react? So right now, I want you to make a decision. Either you're going to do this or you're not, PMP wise. Yeah, I'm going to do it, or I'm going to give up. And if you want to give up, ain't no big deal. It is not an impact on you. Like, you're still a smart person. You're still a good project manager. You're still a good parent, a good husband, a good wife, a good person. Do not let this hurt you like emotionally. Okay? I'm not bullshitting around with that. It's important that you maintain like personal self-worth and confidence. Do not let the test own you. Okay? But if you want to go in the other direction, you would say, I'm bouncing back, man. I want to own my scars. Like, I got a scar right here from heart surgery. I don't want to show you my belly, but I have a scar like right here from I got stabbed. I got stabbed in the side. Like, I own those scars. They're what made me me. It sucks, man. It's not fun to get stabbed. It's not fun to have heart surgery. But it made me me, and it's okay. And so whatever happened to you, sorry to cry. We can help you out. And so, Jesus, still haven't dealt with this stuff. Sorry. Back to you. What I want you to do is to bounce back and look at things differently. And let me just tell you, this can be fun. This can be fun. I don't think you hate your job. Everybody I talk to says, I love project management. I'm good at it. I like it. That's why I do it. I help people. I build products. I do these things. I deliver services. So in reality, I want to bring that passion. You can do it. You can bring that passion to your study process. So let's do that as well. So today it's like kind of like let's get up and do this thing. All right. And let's look at things differently and let's not make the same mistakes that we made last time. And all I'm saying to you is, first of all, you can do it and I can help you. All right. And it's not just me. I got a team. And most importantly, we have a methodology that's driven by philosophy. And at the end of the day, it ain't like ivory tower. It's in the ring of PMP and has been tested over and over and over. And you know the one thing that we will never, ever lose is our humbleness to continue to test the system. Because I got pressure too, y'all. The exam changed. I got to make sure that everything is fine and tightened up and refined toward the new exam. I got good news though. We've taken all our lessons learned. We did a retrospective, a deep one. We looked at ourselves from all the different angles. Not the pretty mirror that makes you look skinny. That mirror that you go, goodness me. Them donuts have been hitting me hard. And so we found where we were awesome and where we could get better and ideas that we brought them in. And so we're going to be better for you. So let's do this thing. Let's get your PMP. Let's start 2021 off right. And let's keep rolling. So I'm proud of you. I appreciate it. And let's get to work. Give me a call. 757-759-5282. That's my phone number. Literally, call me. Or Scott at PMmasterPrep.com, or go to our website and enroll or apply for the accelerator. We don't just take everybody. You got to have the right mentality. I know you do. Mostly if you hit the button, you're the kind of person that will fill out the questions and talk to us, and we just want to know you and rock and roll with you and be aligned. It's important for us. It's important for you. So let's do this. So 757-759-5282. Let's go. Scott at PMmasterPrep. Let's get your PMP. Adios.